So, I mean,
also, like,
that wasn't...
avocado dome, like, it's part of avocado. Like, while I was looking, just like, it was probably like maybe avocado balls.
What's up, Soap Suds? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Soapbox. As always, I'm your host, Michael Lee Ponton, and this week I'm joined by my very special guest host,
Liverpool!
I hope your face doesn't look like an avocado when you're there.
Maybe I'll keep it on the whole time. Maybe I'll take it off right now!
No!
Oh! Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll be in the middle of a sentence. I'll just rip it off.
Oh, God.
So what are we talking about today, Lee?
Today, we're going to talk about Hello Kitty. I'm just kidding. Clearly, we're talking about chimichangas.
Ooh, did you say chimichangas?
Nope, I said B. Arthur.
Ooh, did you say B. Arthur?
Obviously, this week, we're talking about Deadpool.
Yay!
Yeah, we are! And not that bullshit that was in Wolverine.
Though, to be fair, Ryan Reynolds was the best part of Wolverine Origins.
That's true. Ryan Reynolds was the same in both movies. Actually, might have been better in this one. I feel like he was given carte blanche. I don't know how much of that was in the script, or that was just him.
There were a lot of ad libs.
I'm sure. There had to have been.
He also was in the writing process, too, and a lot of the rewrites.
Ah, there you have it.
He also said this is going to be his last comic book character he'll ever portray.
You know, he hasn't had the greatest luck.
But, I mean, he's obviously going to be doing several for, Deadpool installments,
I'm
or whether
sure.
he's going to show
Well,
up.
now, the movie was clearly a hit.
You think?
No, seriously, it was like a cash cow. In all honesty, I feel like this was the movie that people wanted. They wanted Deadpool to be able to curse,
Yeah, they did.
to be violent, and to just be all kinds of wrong.
And when it's sex, violence, and rock and roll. That was my guitar.
That's good. That's good, because nobody could see anything that you did with your mouth. Wasted.
Back to what you were saying.
This movie was great. I didn't go into it knowing a lot about Deadpool. I know of Deadpool. I know some things about Deadpool. But from the things I read, I feel like this movie had the things in it.
Yeah, I've been reading Deadpool for a really long time. Just
Yeah.
because he was always the funny guy. And you know me, I'm always about to laugh. So I'd always read him. It's funny, I was working at a comic book store forever ago. We won't say how long ago it was, but a really long time, pre-wrestling. And I would laugh at him, why does this guy look like he's a rip-off of Deathstroke in Spider-Man? Because he's a parody of Deathstroke. And I'm like, what?
Because he is, you moron.
My manager, Tony, is like, Leva, I think you really like this a lot. It's just pure humor. And so I picked it up, and I loved it ever since. So he was always one of my favorites. I've got to play him, well, her, it. Because there's Lady Deadpool too, but I got to do this for a while now in the cosplay scene and wrestling, and so much fun. There's so much freedom you can get away with. A lot of characters, you have to keep a certain way, and don't go. Now you can he's always broke the fourth wall. He's always done jokes. He's always quipped. It's just.
But the thing is, when it comes to that, you still have to do that. Yeah, you've got a lot of freedom, but you also have to make sure you do those Deadpool-y things.
Deadpool-y, I like that word.
Yeah, thanks. If you don't break the fourth wall, if you don't have these self-deprecating jokes, if you don't do those things, then you're not Deadpool.
Yeah, and
either.
I think that's what, for the longest time, that separated the comic from other comics. I mean, there's other comics since then that have come out that have done kind of a similar thing, but that's what always made him stand out, I guess, at least for me, apart from the other comics. So that's why I think this movie did so well, because it does stand apart from every other comic book movie out there. Don't get me wrong, I love them all, but this is so different. It's I kind of say it's like the Kevin Smith of comic book movies, because there's dick and fart jokes. It does things that no other comic books movies do, but still have the elements that keep it action-y, adventure-y, and larger than life, just like all the other comic book movies. But you have elements that keep true to itself.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the things that is also making this movie so successful. I feel like at its heart, it is a comic book movie. And in all honesty, the R rating I feel for the most part, comes from the use of language.
There was quite a bit of nudity for at least
there was also nudity. But
I didn't mind that.
But it wasn't
butt the entire time. Hey!
But again, it wasn't ever, I mean, it was a butt.
Sex.
That was as extreme as it went. Really? Did we see boobs?
I'm gonna say
Did we see full boobs? There were full boobs in like the strip club.
Oh yeah. Maybe did
and
there were Vanessa's? I thought we saw.
No, there were no nips. They're covered. So really, it was like random extras and Ryan Reynolds' butt.
I think also like
that wasn't
avocado dong, like part of avocado. Like, well, I was looking when he was getting thrown around.
There might have been avocado dong.
Just like, and probably like maybe avocado balls. But it's only like shadow of it, so I was looking.
I feel like that's a spin-off comic series, Shadow of the Balls. He's already a parody of another DC character, so why don't we parody a very famous DC book? Why not?
All right, someone get on that, okay?
Get on it.
Hashtag Shadow of the Balls.
Talk about a thumbnail and a title for a video. Even the violence itself, I feel like, yeah, parts of it were graphic, but again, it's all in the tone of how the movie is shot and how the movie is put together.
Yeah, it'll fit perfectly.
It was literally all done in a very lighthearted, comedic manner, and it was almost so cartoony. I don't know, I didn't feel like it was graphic, per se.
Yeah, it wasn't like...
Like, yeah, sure, we saw holes going straight through people's heads.
But it was, again...
But it's just so... Yeah, the tone of itself made it so, like...
yeah.
That it wasn't like, oh, God, oh...
Yeah. It wasn't like horror movie type graphic or like even maybe Quentin Tarantino. You know what I liked about the violence? So actually, I'm going off rails a little bit, I apologize. But what I loved about the fight scenes, there was so much, like... wrestling. There was choke slams. I think there was a German. There was a drop kick. He drop kicked me here. Wait a minute. Boop. That's awesome. I'm popping that. Like that's awesome. Like,
well, it was a very physical movie. There was a lot of just hand-to-hand fighting or
that was a bunch of
sword
cuts too.
Fighting.
Studio cut $7 million from the movie last minute. There's supposed to be a motorcycle chase scene between Ajax and Deadpool. That's why he left the bag in the cab. They filmed that. They added that because they couldn't do as much craziness as they wanted. Mm-hmm. So it's more hand-to-hand as opposed to using guns and crazy things. They had it. Cut it! Ooh! You see the bottom of my mouth.
Well, it doesn't look like avocado, so...
No, it's not an avocado. You can see my face now. Hi, guys.
I feel like they felt like this movie was a big risk.
A lot of times, R-rated comic book movies don't do that well. I feel like most comic book movies are aimed for children, like look at Avengers, or at least like teenagers.
Well, they have to be. They have to be more family oriented.
Yeah, even like Batman for the longest time was like one of the darker ones. If you think about it, but still, that was aimed for like preteens, and teens. You know, so I think aiming for an R, which is technically 17. Yeah, that's a good chunk of your core audience right there.
On the other hand, it's kind of like you said, there's a huge audience for the Kevin Smith type movies where they're just sort of crude. And I feel like that's what this was. There's something about it that's so lighthearted that I never felt like, oh my God, this is definitely an R-rated movie. This is so ridiculous and violent and like I mean, yeah, I guess it was. Maybe there are a lot of people that would be offended by this movie. But it was almost like glossy and happy. Like it still felt very... That's
Deadpool.
Not gritty at all.
That's Deadpool completely, like in a nutshell. You just described what Deadpool is, so they made a movie.
They succeeded.
What I love so much about this movie, not only did they capture the essence, and like humor meets violence, and that whole tone where it's not too much of one thing. Yeah. But it also was so self-deprecating and made fun of itself, the actor, the studio, everything. It made fun of everything, and it gave no Fs at all. Like,
not
and
at
I
all.
loved that. I loved it made fun of Ryan with the whole, like, the Green Lantern thing. There was a couple Green
Yes.
Lantern moments there. He had his Wade Wilson action figures, most prized possession,
Oh my
and nope,
God.
wham. He had no problem making fun of himself. And there's, like, I think they mentioned TGI Fridays, obviously waiting. But then he also made fun of him for the studio, talking about they couldn't afford any other X-Men except for 2.
They picked the most expensive X-Man to use.
That is
Did
true.
you have to use Colossus, who was CGI the entire time? You probably could have gotten 2 or 3 other X-Men for the price of one complete CGI character. I mean, he was great.
Yeah.
I loved him, but I thought at some point they were going to trim some budget by having him power down. They had him, like, squished in the back of the cab because he was so big, and all I could think was, just power down, and you'll fit in the cab and be comfortable.
It's not like anything else that we've had yet.
Mhm.
At least in the cinematic universe. Even as quippy as Spider-Man is, or as, like, cool as Tony is, they can never be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Like, Tony would almost be able to pull off the Zach Morris thing, but it just doesn't work.
No, it
Like, the
won't.
only
It
person-
wouldn't work. A Spider-Man movie would have to be very ridiculous for him to be able to break the fourth wall and quip to the audience. But with Deadpool, all bets are off. Yeah, he's talking to us, but in the context of the movie, is that all in his head? In his head, he's like playing things out like he's talking to the audience. Is he? I don't know. Is he just a little schizophrenic? Probably.
He is in the book.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like that's how they play it off when he's in combination with other characters.
Yeah.
In his own book, yeah, totally breaking the fourth wall, whatever. But you put him in contact with somebody else, and he breaks the fourth wall, and I feel like somebody just looks at him and goes, "Who are you talking to?" But that's how you make him work in
Yeah.
another scenario. I think it's fun. What did you think of Vanessa?
Oh, I like. Well, it's Nara from Firefly.
Yes.
So it was like, took me about 30 minutes to realize that was her. I'm like, who the hell is this girl? I know her. Oh, Nara.
Wow, it took you that long?
Probably. But I was too busy being entertained by all the other awesome stuff. And that was also around the time we were getting lots of, like, mostly naked, like, Ryan Reynolds. So I got totally
That's
just,
true.
like,
There was a lot of
blood
that.
just was not in the right spots. So.
So in the comic book, Vanessa is a mutant. She's a shapeshifter. Do you think she is? And she's just keeping it on the DL right now?
Maybe she's not mutant yet. Maybe her powers haven't
Maybe.
surfaced. Maybe they're going to give her powers in the next movie.
Does it matter?
I think, again, in a cinematic universe, they can take a few liberties, but the movie's so good, I don't think people are really harping on the differences. And the thing is, that gives opportunity for, because obviously this movie did so well, they were already hoping for a sequel.
Yeah.
So now, a sequel or a third one, she can somehow get powers. Are we going to have other pools? We're going to have Lady Deadpool? Are we gonna have
You wish!
Cast me? I'm here. I'm willing to show butt. Is that what a Deadpool has to do? We also got we got head pool. We got cat pool. We're gonna have all the pools.
The whole core.
So many directions that can go. So many things that can do now.
There are. Well, Ryan Reynolds says he wants to get the X-Force movie made.
Oh man.
And I think now that they've established in this universe that time travel exists and whatever, they can legitimately get Cable into it. I mean, even a Cable Deadpool movie would be ridiculous. Just an endless stream of Deadpool team-up movies. Bottom line,
Go see the movie.
it's
Go.
fun. It's crude. It's a little violent.
Stay after the
Seriously.
credits. Watch everything during the credits. Make sure you pay attention to the opening credits. This is definitely a movie. There's so many hidden things. So many small.
I know,
like,
I feel like I need to see it again.
Oh, you
just
have
like,
to.
pick
Like,
up
I'm
on
seeing
more
this at least 3 times.
of the things. It's a good time to be a geek and to be alive. As always, you guys, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to click that like button. Let us know you like these episodes so that we know to keep making them.
And make sure you share this with all of your friends.
It'll help convince them to go see Deadpool with you.
And just watch our show.
Yeah, and to spread the love of the Geek Soapbox. Self-promotion is key. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be the first to know when we post new videos just like this one. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you again real soon. right here on the Geek Soapbox. Bye!